and we'll see if it actually lets us in. Okay, it looks like it let us in here. Not the greatest heroes. I think Waddle is probably the best of the bunch. All right, we're going to take Waddle. I definitely think Waddle's the pick. All right, looks like we got Pants, Gwen. Somebody did get Sphinx, which is pretty spooky. Piper is really scary as well. Pretty good lobby overall. We could take Humpty so that we don't take damage. These are not really the best animals. I don't absolutely hate this line. I really don't want to be playing Trees and Waddle necessarily, so I don't mind playing Dumpty, not locking this, and then just selling it as soon as we get to the next shop and buying animals. It's unlikely for us to lose combat on the first one here. Given that we found a forbidden fruit, we can probably take that instead of selling the Humpty here. Let's do Minotaur Unicorn. Then we could put the Unicorn in the back or the front. Probably the back. And then the idea will be that the Minotaur bops in, then the Humpty does with the extra health from the Unicorn. Okay. I'd like to get rid of this Humpty sooner rather than later. Because it really does not make us strong. I don't even necessarily hate buying the mice here and then just rolling. If they have a black cat, it is unlikely for this Humpty to live. But we do still have 4 units, which is the typical average. So Minotaur is not particularly strong here. Especially not against Geppetto. I think we want to do this. If we're going to buy the Minotaur, we probably just want to put it here and then do the same plan back row. We want to lead on the blind mouse. I think that's what we're going to try. And if this Humpty dies, it dies, and we'll be sad. But I don't think passing a pair makes sense. And rolling for a random thing maybe doesn't make a lot of sense either. So it looks like we are going to be fine here. And we get to keep our egg as well. If I can buy 2 3s, then the Humpty is definitely a good sell. Assuming that they are good enough 3s, of course. Creeper Donkey is not really what I was imagining when I was thinking about buying 2 3s here. Especially not against Merlin. It's unlikely for the Donkey to do anything for us. Could pick up Donkey, Billy Goat. And then just keep the egg. Rearrange these a bit. I don't absolutely hate that. And I do still think we're going to run the egg in this slot. Position-wise, I think something like this or this makes sense. We're pretty soft to Earthquake, and we're also soft to Falling Stars, so it's likely that we lose this egg here, which is not great, but there's not much that we can do about it in this spot. If we can hit this cat, that's unfortunate. We lose that. We're going to lose literally everything in the back row as well. If we can attack the Minotaur, we can win, but we did not, so. Well, that combat was an actual disaster. If our Minotaur attacks their Minotaur, we don't take damage and we have a chance of that surviving, but this is a good turn. Let's start with the Donkey and see where that takes us. It's a pretty early Crystal Ball. The other ones really don't do a ton for us. I think we'll take the ball. We can take Wicked Witch. I think it's probably the best pickup for right now. I would take the Sleeping Princess or use the Wormroot, but I like buffing the Minotaurs really doesn't do a ton. But we can support this for now. I almost kind of want the Donkey back here as a cleanup. We don't know how big the Sphinx is going to be, but having it run into shit in the front row just like really doesn't seem like something I want to be doing. Not a big fan of this. Again, it's pretty soft to Earthquake. A little less than it used to be, but makes our Wicked Witch a lot worse too. Ooh, that's pretty brutal. Though we did stop their peep. And my donkey is better than their donkey by quite a bit. Or theoretically by quite a bit. Though these peeps are pretty awkward. Because they have the sling as well. Maybe it's not better. Yeah, I guess with the sling it makes it a bit worse. It's not a good hit for us. Yeah, the sling really fucked us there. Yikes. Just take a deep breath, chill out, we're fine. So we need something better than this. I think we need to roll. These are also not great. We'll roll one more time here. We could take a pig in this spot. I don't absolutely hate the pig. I would like to use Earthquake here. And we probably take this Crafty, which means we're going to need to sell something. Probably the Unicorn. We're not selling the Mouse. And I think the rest of our units have to stay, but I do think we really need to cast this Earthquake here, so we're going to do it. We'll do it like this. This ball might have been a loose pickup. The other ones really didn't do much for us. And I think on the off chance that we can get Hat Ball assembled, I think it's worth grabbing, but it definitely did not make us strong. These Minotaurs are pretty dog shit. We're going to have to hope that this Earthquake in combination with the Donkey is enough for us to survive here. This Mouse hitting something like Fork could give us a chance at coming back into this. But we're a bit weak here. Not great, because they actually have the Creeper, and our attacks were terrible. Jesus, okay. Hit the Donkey. Okay, that's good. Not great, though. A Donkey hit over here, so we can summon at least one more unit. Wow. Okay, well, our units are dumb as hell. Bit unfortunate that that's the case, but that has been my experience with this so far. Our units have been pretty stupid. I don't mind picking up something like the Monster Book, maybe. We really need to get out of these Minotaurs, so we'll grab the Monster Book and roll. I think it's a bit too small, a bit of a wrong position for us to take a Copycat here. I'm going to roll again. The Kidnap is interesting, especially against Gwen. I think I'm going to prioritize rolling one more time. Okay, so we'll take the Mouse here. I think we can just dump this Minotaur. We don't really need it. So Gloves of Thieving is probably necessary here. Maybe Vecna. Vecna gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then whatever the Donkey summons. It's close. We're going to take Gloves of Thieving. I'm considering buffing the book. I don't think I'm going to, but it is interesting. We'll have to see what we steal. The second Friendly Spirit certainly would have been a lot better. But getting a Friendly Spirit isn't terrible. This one's probably going to destroy us here. We'll have to see how this Donkey does. I don't think it's going to be able to summon enough stuff that actually matters. Because they're going to make such a large back row here. Yeah, it doesn't really do enough. We did summon an extra unit, I just don't think it's going to be strong enough here. So we got a Spirit, which is nice. We basically have just taken damage since the start of this game, up until now. It's less than ideal. I really need to get off of like all of this garbage. It's so bad. So let's grab the Spellweaver and this other monster book, and let's make this good. And are we in the market just to kidnap again? It is possible. We want to put this here. Are we leading on just a 6/6? I guess. I think we need to kidnap. If it hits a book, spirit, it can actually double the kidnap because we have the gloves and give us a triple, which is sorely needed. It would surprise me if we don't die in the next 1 or 2 turns, assuming that these books don't really pay off. Our hero power has been quite disappointing, so I think this crystal ball was a bit ambitious. Unfortunate, but they already have Aeon with Wizard's Familiar, which is not great. I suspect we're going to take some damage here. If we can get some extra summons... No, we're taking some damage. We got 2 upgraded frogs, I believe, that are pretty decent sized. Let's take this for the treasure. Worst case, we can always skip it. I think Runestones is probably fine. Let's sell this, buy this. That's a decent amount of extra added stats, which I do like. Let's buy another Weaver and roll. I don't necessarily hate Ride. These are pretty big. Certainly bigger than this. Certainly bigger than this. This donkey is also pretty disappointing, I would say. So how large does this make this if we cast it? It is... quite a bit of stats. It makes these have 20 attack, which is pretty relevant. Let's go ahead and do it, and then we'll roll. We're in a bit of a let's try not to die really badly position. I kind of want to buy this pig now, because if it's a combat treasure, we're going to need to take it. Yeah, Deck of Many Things is a pretty good combat treasure, I would say. I'm trying to decide if I want the frogs on either side, or if we want them... I think we want it like this, because we want these to go off, but we need this donkey to maybe get a trigger out of it. I think that's the only way we're actually living this round. +1/+1 is not what we needed there. We need to snipe one of these. That didn't quite do it, but we did get to summon an extra unit, which is nice with the donkey. We still have the ability to snipe this, which we did not get. That breakpoint was pretty bad. That's also not good. So then they have Cat's Call. Oh no, that's terrible. I guess I die. I guess I get 8th. Okay. Strong showing. So we are at 1 point, which means that we have to get first to be live, which is the actual nightmare scenario, I think. If you at least get 7th, then you have the ability to get a 2nd and be live. Yeah, that's a fucking nightmare. I guess we'll be back later on a short round. Sorry for that, guys. What a fucking disappointing game. Like, this was one of the worst games that I've played in the last several weeks or months. And right at the right time, too. So, okay.